Welcome back to the Stars and Scrums, Rugby Europe's podcast about, well, everything in Rugby Europe. And this time we go to the sevens, mainly to the women's seven series, not only the championship, but also the trophy. As we have Maja Meuller from Sweden, they won the first leg of the competition, so they are set to get the promotion this season. And the other two guests is Ilona Zaisliuk from Poland. They won the first leg in Makarska in a great show of competitiveness and excellence. And Cecile Blondiau from Belgium, who were in the Challenge Series, and it was one of the most fun team to watch playing. So welcome to all of you. I'm happy that you had time to come here and talk to us. I'll start with Cecile. You are one of those faces when everyone asks about Belgian sevens rugby, and you are a showstopper. You can do it all. So, can you explain to us how do you prepare for these sevens tournaments? What's the mindset, and how hard it is to go there and perform on those weekends that everything it's at stake?
Yes, thank you, Francisco. So, how we prepare? We prepare all year long, actually. So the season starts in August and ends in begin July. So we have like 1 month rest. But for the rest, we are happy in Belgium that the country is small, so we can be together like several times a week. So it helps us to be more connected on the pitch and to develop some links between players. And then we try to have like some opposition during the first part of the season between September and December, and then in January started the Challenger series, and from there we just had a lot of competition and training camp to play the sport we are looking for. So how do we prepare? Just as hard as the sevens can be. So you need to be prepared to do a lot of effort, repetitive efforts, and so it has to be hard in the training. So it gets normally easier in the games, but so this is how we prepare, and we can join together. So I have team training on Monday and Wednesday in Belgium. So I think it's a chance. Not all the country can do that. So it's one of the, how can I, just a positive point from a small country like Belgium.
Before I go to our two other guests, Belgium did excellent in Makarska, finished in third place. Um, it's at the beginning. You had the first game against Germany. You won by 7 points. It was a very competitive game, but after it all started working well for you guys. How do you find Belgium in the Rugby Europe 7 circuit? What is your team all about?
How, there's nothing original, I think, because every player say that about her team. But I think we have the chance to to get along a lot in the year, and so we become almost a family and get connected more and more on the pitch. So it helps on the pitch. So this is Belgium. We are really like different sort of player. We have small ones, tall ones, more fast, or so more technical. And we don't have like a stereotype of player like you can see in other country, maybe. So it's something original maybe, and we have to work with that and to build like a strategy with these types of player. And Belgium is not historically a rugby country, so we build a culture through the years, and now it gets more and more like popular in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we did maybe so good in Makarska. We we had a difficult time in the first game, but it's sevens, and even if it's the first game or the last game, you everything can happen. And I think Germany did a great first game, and we had some difficulties to start the day. Was it the warm, or I don't know, but then we get more implicated and more focused, and
Mhm.
it gets easier and easier.
And well, I'll come back to you because we want to hear if your team can win Hamburg or at least go to the final. About finals, Ilona, Poland did so well in Makarska. It was incredible that final against France, but you defeated Team GB. Your pool stage was pitch perfect. Poland has become one of the strongest sevens teams in the world in the Challenger Series. Can you explain to us what's the mindset? How you have become so menacing, so threatening in the sevens pitch?
Well, thank you. That's a lot of confidence from your side. Most certainly, we worked hard for the to be at that spot, but in all the honesty, it hasn't been an easy route, as all of us can say, and perhaps Belgium players would also agree that the Challenger series were quite challenging in itself. There was few tournaments added extra to our regular schedule,
Mhm.
so balancing this season was a bit more difficult than it would typically be. In addition, we would still have our regular seasons within the clubs, so it would just be additional games rather than properly balancing out the amount of games that we would have. So we struggled at some points, and after Madrid, perhaps it was one of the lowest points that we had in our season because we had a lot of expectations to qualify for the World Series, even though that our expectations got taken away from us in the last second, and it was a emotional roller coaster for most of the girls on the team. Uh, but at the end of the day, we just were able to sort of come back to the basics, and I think it's the most important thing. Our Polish side is quite physical, so we were able to execute on our physical abilities
Mhm.
as well as just going with the flow and not putting all that much pressure on ourselves. I feel like most of the games were so important in the past, and every single game is important, but because we sort of came in with the fresh view to the European
Mhm.
Championship, it was easier to play. It was we received more pleasure from just being there on the pitch, being there for each other. We've had some of the like, injuries that you would see as a season ending. Me personally, I've suffered an injury in Uruguay that I thought would end my season, but we persevered through it. And in European Championship in Makarska, I think it goes to show how good we are playing together and how
Mhm.
much we actually enjoy playing for each other. And I think that that was something that showed the result, and that's something that accumulated as a win. We didn't come in to enter the pitch. Obviously, we always try to win, but after the loss in Madrid, our mood was sort of down.
Mhm.
However, we were able to come out on top, and we surprised even ourselves.
About the well in Makarska, there was a fierce competition. Looking from the top, because you finished in first place, do you think the seventh series championship is a competitive challenge for everyone?
Yes, it's very good to see how rapidly the game is developing in different countries as well. It's there is no such thing as an easy game anymore. You go on the pitch and you go and you fight for every single point. Games against Portugal, they also showed us from the bat we were losing 12-0 and we needed to get back because there is no such thing as underestimating an opponent. Every single opponent has something that unique about them. So it was really great to see that all of the countries, even where the rugby is not as popular of a sport, as well, same goes for Poland, but they are developing rapidly, and it's really cool to see how greatly like the championship and the trophy and the one below the conference is growing.
That's great to know. And moving to Maja, because Sweden, we have also another victor from one of our competitions in the sevens in the trophy series. Sweden won and Zagreb. Maja, it was incredible because you last year you suffered relegation, but you're back on it, first place. You were looking so good. Can you explain to us what was the mindset after relegation and how you have built such a strong team for winning the first leg in the trophy series?
I think, like, obviously we were all so disappointed last year, being relegated, but equally it provided us with a big challenge for this year. I think we all set the same goal ahead of this season. Like last time we got promoted up to the championship, um, we never actually got to the final in the trophy. We got promoted by coming third and fourth in the trophy. So this year we were like, so we've been relegated, nothing we can do about it. It's just about building a strong squad, setting the right goals, having the right mindset, keep working hard together and just connecting to then get promoted again. We all agreed that we wanted to go hard for the victory and the trophy. Obviously, we're only halfway there. But I think just the buy-in from everyone in the squad has been amazing this year. It's been difficult for us to balance like club season with the 15s national team season with the 7 season, because weather and everything in Sweden obviously doesn't allow us to play a lot in the winter. But we had the 15s Rugby Europe Championship starting in February, so we needed to keep training during the winter and training hard for 15th championship, and then kind of at the same time having 7s in the back of our minds. So balancing everything was a bit difficult, but we're also fortunate with having most of the girls in the 7 squad also training and playing together in 15s. So I think it's just allowed us to really connect on and off the pitch, and we built a really strong squad, like I said, with everyone actually buying into the right philosophy that the coach wanted to like sell to us this year. And obviously we had a really good and class coaching and management set up in the background, working hard. We had some fundings cuts ahead of this season, so we were like, wow, what's going to happen? Are we going to be able to have the right prep for the trophy this year? What are we going to be able to do? Will we have enough time together? Because we always speak about having enough time together to train and, you know, get that connection and cohesiveness. But yeah, I think everyone has just had an amazing mindset and kept working hard on and off the pitch together on their own, which has allowed us to then go to Zagreb and just perform like we've never done before. I think this is my 5th season in the Rugby Europe competitions, and I've heard several people tell us over the weekend that, wow, we've never seen you play this well before. It's amazing to see. And you know, just hearing that, like, I think all of us could feel that on the pitch, but hearing that from people from the outside is just amazing, and it shows that hard work really pays off. And yeah, now it's just time to keep working hard for Budapest, obviously, and then go for promotion again.
Just picking up on the words of Ilona, she was saying that, well, rugby is spanning in these countries. We're seeing not only the 12 in the championship, but also the 12 in the trophy. Do you have the same opinion that, well, after playing in the trophy and you did so well, Sweden, you are a captain of your team, it was great to see, but the competition, do you think it's better nowadays? You said is your 5th season in the Rugby Europe 7th circuit. So what's your opinion? Do you think things have become more difficult because teams got better?
100%. Like, it's obviously easier to get a national team together in 7s because it requires less players. So more nations get a 7s team together, and they keep working hard to just like get better in 7s. And I think you can really tell, like, this year you couldn't really tell who would like place in the top 4, in the top 8, stuff like that. It was really like, just like Ilona touched upon, like, you can't ever underestimate any opponent. You can't ever switch off in a game because it's 7s, anything can happen. And I think all of our games provided us with different kinds of like pressure and difficulties and challenges. I think we just like stuck to it and had resilience. Even like in the games where we were pressured from the start, we just were resilient and kept working hard together. But yeah, 100%, like, there was some tough opposition in that tournament, like looking at teams like Denmark, Latvia. I think those were probably the biggest upsets in the tournament, that they won their quarterfinals, which is amazing to see, because I know both those teams have been working really hard to improve on the 7 side, and it just really shows that competition is toughening up, and it's amazing to see, because it makes you step up as well. Like if you're challenged, if you're pressured, you're gonna step up so much more, and it's great to see.
It's good to hear that. Cecile, going back to you, you are captain of Team Belgium. Um, how is to lead a team in the seventh circuit? Because in the 15s you have more time to talk to your team to get the head in the right mindset, but in sevens it's also quick, things change from one moment to another. Can you explain to us how what's your work as a captain inside of the pitch?
Yeah, I think the role of a captain in 15s and 7s is not completely different, but there is like some difference because, like you said, in 15 in a game you have time to speak with your team, to speak with the referee, to speak. But in sevens you don't have so much time, and then I think also that a player can be a captain and another player can be. They can have like two type of being a captain, and you just have to stick to what you are actually. And how am I a captain for Belgium? It's just in the training, in the day-to-day workout. I just try to lead by example, so I'm not like speaking a lot and have hours and hours of words for the girls, but just I try to do my best to do anything I can to help. So this is how I captain, and then I try also to have the right decision at the right time during the game. But how we improved that this year with our team is also to have like around the captain you have like a drivers group, and so I'm not the only one on the pitch who can take decision because seventh is something really hard, and at the last minute of the game you can't always take a good decision. So this is why we work like that in Belgium, and it helps me a lot. So I try just to inspire the next generation also. It's one of my goal, and I do my best. I work hard.
That's good to know. And about Hamburg, what can we expect from Belgium? You finished third in Makarska, but I think that you want to taste the gold in a couple of days.
Yeah, I think every team in the Rugby Europe Championship wants to taste the goal. We missed our chance here in Makarska. What we expect from Hamburg is our first goal for the Rugby Europe Championship, is to get the ticket for the Challenger next season. That's really our first goal. And then, yeah, we want to win a leg. So that's really a goal. Then we will do what we have to do to go there. But and the other girls know that also, that there is like anything can happen in sevens, and so you can miss one game, you can lose one game, but it was the game you didn't want to lose. So for example, if you lost the quarter final, maybe you lost one game on the sixth, but then you can be only five on the fifth place. So yeah, we will just give it all. It's the last dance of the season for us. We didn't reach the repêchage and the Olympics, so we just have to. I don't know how to say that in English, but
Say in
like,
French.
just to release everything we have still in our reserve, and enjoy the moment, because it's the most important, I think, also. And just
That's good to know. And I'll come back to you because I said the Sevens has some hard parts, and I want to know after it two questions to you and to all of you, but I'll come back. Ilona, we know that Poland is going for the Olympic repechage. It's going to be massive for your country, but also I know your team and you want to add another first place come the second leg of the Rugby Europe Championship Series. So, what can you promise to the fans that are looking forward to see a rematch against France, but also it can come down to Belgium against Poland in the final?
Yes, you're very much correct. It's every single team is quite threatening, and every single game is going to be just as important as a final. Every time we play Belgium, it's difficult fights. This feels like we somehow managed to not get in each other's way, but typically we play each other in every single competition. It's always, it's most certainly, it's fun to be honest, because at the end of the day, we all are doing it because we love rugby so much. We're just representing different nations, different teams. And I think the battle is going to be quite fierce because we will need to protect our title. And also, this is just a fresh new tournament. It's 0-0, everybody starts over. And we just have to do it one more time. Just get to the final. I think we do have a bit of advantage because when you get to the final, there is an expectation. I hope that expectation is going to work in our favor and not put an extra pressure on us. And I hope we will survive Morocco repechage because competition after competition is building up some fatigue. But I very much hope that our masseuse and all of the people will get us ready to go in 2 weeks' time. Yeah.
Just one quick question before we go to Maja. If you play against Belgium in the final in Hamburg, what your team can't do against Belgium to avoid losing to them?
I'm not gonna sell our tactics. Yeah, most likely we're just gonna tackle Cecile with two people because this is what we usually do. It's like use two people and tackle Cecile. No, with all the jokes aside, we do a lot of analytical work, and we've faced each other quite a bit. But to be honest, we are surprised every time with some new move or something that just fires up. I hope and I wish them a good game, and I hope for them to reach the final as well. For us to reach the final, and let's just see. Let's just play rugby then.
Let's play rugby then. That's great. Maja, you still have one leg to play in Budapest in the 12th of July. So you are one shoe is already on your foot. You need the other one to go and win the promotion.
Yeah.
So do you think Sweden has all it takes to get promoted back to championship and rejoin your fellow friends from Poland and Belgium?
I mean, you never want to be too confident in sevens, but I think we really showed last week in that we absolutely deserve to be promoted again and that we've got what it takes. Absolutely. I think it's just about not getting ahead of ourselves, not losing track of our goals and what we need to do. We said at the weekend that we needed to take it like game by game, never shift our focus past the next game ahead, and that we just wanted to put ourselves in the best position we could for ourselves going into the playoffs. And then when we got into the quarterfinal, we had done the job so far. We were seeded top team, I think, going into the quarterfinal. So from there, it was just taking it like one final at a time. We knew we had to win the quarterfinal. So all focus was on the quarterfinal, and the next focus was all on the semi-final. So one final at a time, and I think we just need to do the same thing at the next tournament, to be honest, and then just not put ourselves under too much pressure. I think a lot of teams will have analysed us going into the next tournament and try to work out how to break us. I think the biggest thing for us over the weekend was that we felt so connected in defence, and we were almost like, it felt like we were ruthless and just connected throughout the whole tournament, which was great to see and feel. So now it's just about keeping that up and keeping the work up for next leg.
One last question before I do quick questions to you all. But what do you think Sweden has progressed since 2023? What one area of the game do you think your team scaled to 2 levels?
I think we've got a really good mix of physicality and speed, mixed with better skills, more sharp in defense, and having that mentality of flicking the switch when it matters.
An extra last question. Yeah. As you are a captain, what is the word that you repeat most to your teammates during a sevens match, if you have one?
I think a big one is patience.
Patience is a
Yeah.
good one. Patience is a very good one.
I probably have a lot of more words that I repeat way too much because sometimes I get ahead of myself and just speak too much, like I do now.
That's a role of a captain for me. Cecile, you were talking about sevens is hard, so I'm going to ask you, what is the fun? What's the most fun part of sevens? A skill or something, and the hardest part?
The most fun part is, I think, just doing what I love and have some fun on the pitch. And like Maja said, feeling connected with your team is really the fun part, and enjoying time together. And then looking back at what you did on the weekend, and just say, "Wow, it was amazing!" Because you just feel so much emotion and deep emotions. I think, even if it's hard or if it's love or if it's a joy. That's the funniest part for me. The hardest part is maybe the we don't have a sevens competition in Belgium like a national competition.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the hardest part is the first time of the season, the first 6 months. Without competition, you just have to train hard and hard and hard, and without seeing the result on the pitch or with opposition. And in Belgium, in winter, it's really also maybe not as cold as in Sweden, but it's also cold, rainy, and that's the hardest part. I think like you have to go in the dark, training on your own on a pitch or in a gym, and it's something. Sometimes it's hard, but in the end you get the result on the pitch. So it's hard, but yeah, it worth it.
Question: a try saving tackle or a last minute try? What would you want more?
It depends of the score for the try saving tackle, but
Well,
I would choose the if it gets to save the match, then I would say try saving tackle. If the score is quite okay, then I would say
No, it was going to
last
be a
try.
hit. Good answer. Ilona, funnest part of sevens and the hardest for you.
I wish it could just be like this cocky and say like kicking, but I'm just getting there to like have kicking be the funnest part. But every time I do get a chance to kick, I really appreciate the opportunity. So frankly, like coming in from tennis background, I did have this flashes of anger, and I would take it off on my rackets. The funnest part is that I get to take it out when I'm like stiff arming or tackling. So that's just one of the things to like healthy outlet of the emotion build up. I think that that could be a very good uh, so a fun part of rugby, so to say. And the hardest part, I think, is when you probably get beaten, like by the speed or whether the defender just beats you with a step. It's just very difficult. I mean, obviously, it's a props for them. Good job. Everybody's trying to do that. But when it happens to you, it's the most difficult thing to accept.
And now tell me, you prefer it's not going to be the same question, but you prefer to crash against one opponent and do a handoff, or stepping out and speeding in until the try line?
It's a good one. I think I'll go with the handoff just because like having a bit of a push off just gives you a bit of stimulation. You know, your first few steps are faster because you get to push off somebody, and also it's more dominant. So perhaps that suits my character better.
Okay, that's a good answer. So, Maja, now over to you
Yeah.
to wrap things up. So, funnest part and hardest.
I think funnest part must be like just doing what I love with people I love the most, probably. Like my whole life pretty much is based around rugby. So I think just doing what I love with my team. Because like obviously like we don't get paid to do this, which is probably the same for all of you guys.
Mhm.
So we're just doing it for the love of the game, which is just amazing. And seeing that feeling, getting the feeling when you get success together as a team. I think hardest part must be like digging deep and keep pushing in those like dark times. I think.
That's good to
Probably.
know. And
Yeah.
now, you prefer a turnover at the breakdown, an important turnover that can give you a try, a try that wins you a game, or a backflip pass that can try assist one of your teammates?
I don't do that stuff. I'm a 15s forward.
Oh, you
A
can. It's
turnover.
modern game.
A
It's modern
turnover. I
rugby
know.
now.
Yeah, true. No, a turnover. I love a jackal, so a turnover.
Jackal is great. So good luck to all when we see you in Hamburg and also in Budapest.
Thank you.
Budapest is in 12th until the 14th of July. It's going to cap things off on the trophy series. The two best teams are getting promoted to the championship, while in the championship series, Poland, France, and Belgium finish in the first three places and will fight for the chance to be the new champions come Hamburg next weekend. France was champion in 2023, but Poland knows the taste of be the queens of the championship series. So good luck to all of you. I can't
Thank you.
choose favorites, but I hope you do well because it's been great to watch you and you have pushed so much for Rugby Europe to become one of the greatest standards in sevens worldwide. Thank you. And goodbye to the people
Thank
at home that
you.
were watching or
Thank
hearing
you.
us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.